at 9-Star
From Mount Vernon High School in Fortville, Indiana, welcome to high school boys basketball coverage here on 9-Star TV, where tonight it's a good one between Mount Vernon and Fortville. The Marauders welcome in the Royals of Hamilton Southeastern. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday night in Indiana. Rob Connett, Jim Leisure with you here as Jim. Man, we got a good one here between Mount Vernon and Fortville, getting a few of the votes this week in the 4A polls, coming in at number 16 and looking at that 11-2 record coming off of a win against Hamilton Heights just last night.
Yeah, Coach Ben Rhodes and his staff have done a fantastic job, and they're oftentimes you see when schools, the smaller schools, have success in football, like to athletic success throughout the year. A lot of those athletes that played football are going to play basketball, they're going to wrestle, they're going to run track. So a lot of times that success transcends, and you see Ben Rhodes, like you said, off to an 11-2 start.
As for Hamilton Southeastern, the Royals under their first-year head coach, John Ashworth, comes from Decatur Central, goes over to IHSAA this year. Their record might fool you, 5-8, and you're looking at that saying, ugh. But they have played some tough competition and have put up really good fights against those tough teams.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Again, they play a difficult schedule conference to begin with, but then again, the athletic director and Coach Ashworth have done a nice job of some challenging games that maybe even aren't conference games. But in Indiana, as we all know, everybody gets in the tournament. You'd like to go undefeated, but you don't have to qualify. So if you take one on the chin here every now and then throughout the regular season, but you play a tough ball club, perhaps in a difficult atmosphere on the road, even if you come out on the wrong end of that thing, you can build on that time.
A good example of that last night, HSE, they were at home and taking on the 4th Hinesville Eagles, losing 58-51. And again, you just look at some of the other games that they have played. They lost to number 3 Fishers in double overtime last month. They upset Westfield, another top 10 team in Class 4A, just a week ago, 66-58. So these Royals, they are capable of putting up a good fight. Pull 2, and they're looking for a good win. If they can get one here tonight, that would be a good win in the victory for the Royals.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I really anticipate this to be a very competitive basketball game. Now, at the end, a lot of times it comes down to 5 rows. So a really tight ball game will turn into a 6 or 8-point win one way or a loss the other way. But, again, we all know that the game will be closer. I anticipate that. Mount Vernon beat, I think, a good Zionsville team earlier in the year when they were ranked number 1. And so, I mean, these two teams are playing at a similar level. It's just that Mount Vernon's had a little more success than Hamilton.
The individuals for both these teams for Mount Vernon. How about the Girard boys? Armand Girard combined scoring over 31 points per game, shooting over 60%, 9, and they love to dish out the ball as well.
Yeah, they total complete package. When you look at Armand, everything, points, assists, rebounds, blocks, and steals. His brother Ahmad is also very good, and we did a game of theirs against Greenfield Central, and it was a tale of two halves. Armand had a great first half. Ahmad didn't really do much, and then in the second half it was the exact opposite. So both of them ended up with about, I think, 15 or 16 apiece. That's what they do. That's what their average is.
Along with them, Avery Williams averaging points per game. Cooper Galley, 7 points per game. We'll say Rajon Wells' name a lot. He's averaging double figures. For HSE, how about Sam Jacobs, the 6'5 senior, averaging 20% from the field. He was the quarterback for HSE's football team, and he really is the quarterback on the basketball court as well.
Yeah, Coach Rhodes and his staff have got to find a way to at least contain him, maybe hold him to 14, 12, somewhere in there, and then basically separate that gap. But if you let him 20, Hamilton Southeastern's on a roll.
Mount Vernon and HSE will take this time for tonight's national anthem at the Mount Vernon Gymnasium. There we have the anthem. The Mount Vernon Pep Band sitting right next to us as we are broadcasting from upstairs here at the gymnasium at Mount Vernon High School. And a pretty good crowd on hand to get the Mount Vernon student section sitting right below us. Should be a pretty Saturday night high school boys basketball game.
Yeah, these two schools can't be more than 8 miles apart. It might even be closer than that. Just basically right up the road, which is Mount Comfort Road to us, Hancock County folks. And, so they're always going to travel well, especially short distance.
Again, Hamilton Southeastern 5-8 on the season, coming off of that 7-point loss last night at home against 4A number 4 Zionsville. Here's their starting five, a 6'3" sophomore, averaging 6 points, 4 rebounds per contest. The 6'7" junior Rephaim, he is one of their top players, shooting 60% from the field, 11 points, 5 boards. Tyler Lacey is a 6'2" senior. He's averaging around 6-7 points per game, 50% from the field as well. Josh Jones, he's a 5'10" senior. Does a lot of things that you don't really see in the scorebook. 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist per game, but he'll get the start here tonight. And Sam Jacobs, the quarterback football team, but also the leader on the basketball team for the Royals, the 6'5" senior, averaging 20 points per contest for rookie year. I should say he's not really a rookie.
Right.
He has some coaching experience to his name. His first year here at Hamilton Southeastern, it's John Ashworth.
Yeah, John is assisted by a couple different good stories. His father, Bob Ashworth, as you see in the picture there, the gentleman with, he was a long-time Indiana high school football coach all over the state, Evansville Rights, Lawrence Central, Broad Ripple, coached a little bit in. He's on his bench, and also next to him is Toby Jacobs, and Toby was the JV basketball coach in the earlier game here tonight. He teaches at Hamilton Southeastern. He was a longtime assistant coach football coach at Hamilton Southeastern, but came to Mount Vernon as the offensive coordinator under Mike Kirshner. Stayed when Coach Leidy got the head coaching job. So lines for Mount Vernon State Championship football team, and now he's on the sidelines for the Royals basketball team. I'm sure there's going to be some friendly banter between Coach Jacobs and some of the very kids that he coached in football. So it'll be fun to watch.
For Coach Ben Rhodes, Avery Williams, Armand Gerard, Cooper Galley, Ahmad Gerard, and Ray Wells, the starting five for the 11-2 Mount Vernon Marauders, averaging 69 points per game through their first 13 games this season. Thanks for joining us here on 9-Star TV. On it, Jim Leisure, and the rest of the 9-Star crew with you here inside Mount Vernon High School. The students are ready to get. Hopefully you are as well. Controlled by the white and Vernon High School.
Yeah, and very appropriately you said white and gold. Actually, old gold and white, to get real specific. But of course, a lot of black in their uniforms as well. Have been for years. You see the emblem in the middle of the court's got a lot of black in it. So everyone thinks they're black and gold. They're really actually old gold and white.
Wells controls it. Dumps it off. And off the glass, good. Armand Gerard with the first bucket of tonight's game.
A really good job of just feeding the cutter there. Good job of having the awareness of seeing what was going on around him and really gave him the ball in a great spot.
This is a Royal team averaging 50 points per game. And like we mentioned, Sam Jacobs does half of that by himself, averaging just under 20 points per contest this year. Wells backs it up inside the paint, flips it to a teammate, and it was Gerard, Armand Gerard, but looks like he wasn't really ready for that pass, and it goes off of his.
To the scoring play there. Again, Wells gets the ball in the post, kind of gives a little no-look pass to a cutter, and acted like one.
Here's Jacobs, kicks it out. Lacey inside to Rick Stevenson. He missed it.
Same exact play of their first possession.
Played over a minute, 2-0. Marauders in front.
Stevenson got the ball down on the block and maybe kind of a little turnaround baby hook and missed them both.
Gerard looking to drive. Instead, feeds it over. Now backing it out, Armand Girard. Wells. 3-frame, looking to drive, double team inside the paint, and he walked with it.
Well, unfortunately, the second turnover there. It looks like Mount Vernon's going to use Wells in that high post, and they're going to get him the basketball, and then it's going to go through him. Now, he's a kid that averages about 11 a night, 11.3 to be exact. Every time I've seen him play, he's been an absolute force on the boards. It gets a lot of layups, a lot of offensive boards, and gets a lot of his points that way.
In the corner, three-pointer, Jacobs hits it. Royals in front.
Yeah, you may want to guard him.
Sam Jacobs overall, 8% from the field, but he's even better from beyond the arc, shooting nearly 70% from three-point land.
Wide open like that. Again, another high post inlet pass there.
Ray Wells off the glass and good.
Nice job finishing with the left hand on the left side of the glass or the rim. You want to finish with the left hand, he did.
Marauders back in front. 5.5 to play here in the opening frame. 4-3. Mount Vernon leads it. Here's the top of the key three. Lacey off the mark, but the cleanup is good for who else? Sam Jacobs. And Coach Ben Rhodes is going to take an early timeout as his Marauders trail 5-4.
I mean, again, he's telling them the same thing that I'm thinking. It's like, guys, how in the world can we lose track of that guy? Right? We lose track of him. It's open for a wide open three. And then, again, they come down on their next possession. They shoot, and nobody's got a body on that kid. There ought to be a guy on him, just, I mean, almost like a boxing one where everywhere he goes. So you're going to see the replay here. The shot goes up, and, you know, everyone did, well, we started to see it, but it went away. Good shot of Coach Toby Jacobs there. He's the one wearing the mask. But here it is. You got to know where he's at.
Yeah,
shot goes up. Nobody gets a body on him, and oh, thank you very much.
So Sam Jacobs with all 5 to start the game for the Royals coming out of the Mount Vernon timeout. We've played 3 minutes here in the opening quarter. Armand Girard into the corner. That's Cooper Galley. Had it poked away. Donovan Hamilton, ball loose. They'll fight for it. Jump ball, and it will go to IHSAA.
Yep, the tip was controlled by Mount Vernon, so alternating possessions. Next one goes to I thought Hamilton Southeastern used to be red, white, and blue. I'm looking at media handouts and stuff. It appears as if it's more like blue and silver.
Yeah. And the black uniform's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
They lead it by 1. Jacobs. Now Hamilton. And we'll have our first foul of the game as Avery Williams, the senior, called for it.
Just a little bit of contact, enough for the officials to blow the whistle. You're going to see it right there. Wow. Not much, but it was enough.
Again, the Royals coming off of that last night to number 4 Zionsville, 58-51. Here's a corner three. A little short, no good for Jones. The Marauders are coming off of that 7-point win over Hamilton Heights.
Both teams so far, Rob, have been in man-to-man defense.
Shot won't go for Williams. Still 5-4. Halfway through this first. Steal, Armand Girard. Check that. That is Ahmad Girard. And he'll lay it in, put Mount Vernon back in front, 6-5. On the other end, Stevenson draws the foul. He'll go to the line.
Well, in the previous play, they're fantastic anticipation defensively there and just anticipating the pass, able to break on the ball. Went down and a little bit close of more of a, there you see it, closely defended play than you would have thought. Does a nice job of finishing again.
First free throw, no good for Stevenson, the 6'7 junior, shooting 72% from the charity stripe.
The Royals shoot 76%. Both these teams really shoot the basketball well in all 3 phases, 2-pointers, 3-pointers, and free throws.
Second one good for Refi. Tied up at 6 with 3:45 to play here in the first quarter.
And just as I was talking about the man-to-man defense by Hamilton Southeastern, now it's kind of a matchup zone.
Armand Girard. Now Williams as the Warriors slow it up on this possession.
This is a real amoeba type defense. At times it looks like a 2-3, at times it looks like a 1-3-1, at times it kind of looks like a man.
Marauders really taking their time on this possession. Tied at 6, 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Again, this is a Mount Vernon offense averaging just under 70 points per game and a steal by HSE. Lacey drives off the hands of Stevenson, but the Royals gather it back up. Lacey for 3 off the back of the iron. In the corner, Williams, no. Off board for Cooper Galley. He looks to drive. Now flips it over. Williams. And a foul going to be called against the Royals.
Yeah, very fortunate there for Williams that the foul was called, because otherwise it would have been their 4th turnover. Got to protect the basketball. You see Galley driving here, giving it up. We're going to see the contact. Yeah, that was a good call.
.225 to play.
HSC back to the man, so they're switching things up.
3 on the way. That's good for Cooper Galley. Check that. That's Ahmad Girard. 9-6 Marauders in front. A near turnover. Fight for it. And they will award the timeout to Coach Ashworth.
It's going to be a 30. So, again, you see that a lot of times when a player goes on the floor, especially early in a half when both teams still have 5 timeouts. Coach is going to call timeout. Watch this bomb here. He's like, okay, no one's going to be near me. Yeah, watch this. That's very close. Got to be close to an NBA 3 right there. He was about line, so line's at 20 feet.
Cooper Galley with his 15th 3. Mount Vernon leading it 9-6 under 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. And the Marauders 11-2 on the season. Hamilton Southeastern at 5-8, but they have played a tough schedule, and they have played a lot of ranked teams pretty tough, including at Westfield last week. Coming out of the timeout, Steven went off of Cooper Galley.
Yeah, I always like to see what teams do coming that timeout off the side inbounds there. Again, I think it was a good timeout because it saved the possession. It was about to be a turnover for Hamilton Southeastern, and Coach Ashworth quickly called the timeout to save the possession.
And a steal by Ahmad Girard. He'll take it the other way. Tried to dunk it. Could not finish. Royals in transition. Miles. Kick out. Jacobs for 3. Yes. And we're tied again.
Wow, talking about a situation just on you. That could have been really bad for Hamilton Southeastern. Ends up with a 3.
Ahmad Girard trying to redeem himself. Can't finish on that one. Tough shot. Here come the Royals with a chance to take the lead. Jumper from the free throw line. Hamilton, no. Way. Pull up deep 2, no good. Jacobs will try another one. And it rims in.
No man's already got 11 points, man. We're in the quarter.
11 of the 12 for HSE. Like we mentioned in the top of the quarterback for the HSE football team back in the fall, and the true leader offensively for the basketball team as well. About 20 points per game as Wells left it short on the cleanup. Foul going to be called, and it will send the Marauders to the free throw line.
Well, Sam Jacobs really knows what he wants to do there. I mean, he's a kid that is, like you said, inside the arc as we watch Ray go in and miss, and then the foul here. But, I mean, he just sets up for the ball.
Armand Gerard misses the first free throw, which is rare, as you see there. An 80% free throw shooter this season. The 6'2 senior.
Got a handful of substitutions. Not only giving their kids a break, but also with 23 seconds to play in the quarter, you don't want anybody to pick up a quick foul the next quarter with no fouls.
Armand Gerard missed both free throws. 12 game, HSC in front. Caleb Smock, who has checked in for the Royals, gets it out to Dion Miles. Down to the final 7 seconds. Someone has to shoot. They will not get a shot off. No one really wanted to take the final shot of the first quarter for HSE. And Coach Ashworth not too happy with that final possession. But his Royals lead it after the first 8 play. 12-9 your score. We'll be back on 9 Star TV.
At 9 Star Connect, history spans back to the late 1800s, where family time, building livelihoods and neighborhoods, sharing stories of the day and looking forward to dreams were important to all of us. Today, 9 Star still values these things. That's why we have a local 24/7, 365 support center. We are still here for you, as it's been for the past 125 years. At 9 Star Connect, kind of company, and the difference is you.
Two months ago, it was the Mount Vernon Marauder football team hoisting that trophy right there at Lucas. Mount Vernon picking up their first football state championship as they beat Northridge 45-14. A lot of guys on this basketball team were a part of that football state championship team. Avery Williams, Eli Bridenthal, George Burhen, wide receivers for that football team. Also a part of the basketball team this winter here at Mount Vernon High School as they trail Hamilton Southeastern 12-9 as we start quarter number 2. It was HSE being led by none other than Sam Jacobs. 11 of their 12 points in that first quarter.
Yeah, I started to say technically they trail Sam Jacobs 11-9.
It's a good way of putting it. Contact inside the paint. That will send Armand Gerard to the free throw line. That'll be their fourth foul. Or check that, third foul. Armand Gerard will try to redeem himself. 0 for 2 in that first quarter. Hits the first one. Again, he's an 80% free throw shooter. Overall from the field, 57%.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you miss the first one, it just gets in your head a little bit. When you're that good of a shooter, it's just so rare that you miss the first one, then it affects the second one sometimes.
He made the first, missed the second. That three is blocked. Mount Vernon picks it back up, takes the other way as they trail 12-10. Ahmad Gerard controls it, lost the handle of it. Ball still loose. They'll fight for it. Jump ball will belong to the Royals.
Well, the old possession arrow is getting a lot of work already today.
Yeah. That scores table, whoever's in charge of that light switch, flipping it back. Their thumbs are already tired. 12-10 HSE in front. Jacobs. That was knocked away.
Coach Ashworth out there with a little bit of a delay there and communicating to his kids.
Quick pass. Jacobs drives and finishes. the senior, with 13 of the 14 points for the Royals. Ahmad Gerard backs out, now looking to drive again, and a foul going to be called. Who has checked in for HSE.
Yeah, so far fouls haven't really been a big deal.
Clean game for the most part. Fourth foul on HSE. Mount Vernon with 2. Gerard with just 1 field goal so far in this first half. Gives up to Wells. Gerard. 6:25 to play here in the first half. And away from the ball. Going to be called against the Royals once again.
Now Griffith just picked up his second. And I don't know if we'll get a replay on it or not. Probably not, because we're going back to live action here. But
Wells lost the handle of it. Another unforced turnover by the Marauders. Jacobs, cross-court pass. Gives it up. Free throw line jumper is good for Michael Griffith, sophomore.
Now that's one of the things about HSC. They got a lot of youth on this team, a lot of sophomores, 5 seniors, 2 juniors, and 4 sophomores. So Mount Vernon very heavily dominated by seniors.
Eli Bridenthal trying to get some breathing room, and he draws the foul. So, Jim, as soon as you said that fouls weren't picking up very well.
Yep. They start stacking up on you, don't they?
That's what we like to call a broadcaster's jinx.
Yeah. Probably should have just kept my mouth shut.
Oh, nice pass, bucket and 1 for Ahmad Gerard. Went up for it on the in. Draws the contact. He'll go to the free throw line to try to make it a 3-point play as you get another good look. Jumped on the caught it and threw it up there. Can't secure the 3-point play, though. By the way, that foul went against Griffith. He has 3 now for the Royals.
Got to get him out of there, and they've already got a guy at the scorer's table.
Jacobs pulls up, rims out, no good. Trying to fly in there for the rebound, Ahmad Gerard, but he stepped on the baseline.
Yep, just landed right with his toes on the line. Official right there. Pretty easy call.
$5:27 to play. Royals in front by 4. Inside of Jacobs. Another tough shot, a little too strong. Offensive rebound and the putback by Rephaim Stevenson.
Really hard to defend. Good job of getting the offensive board, then just bending his body, good body control, using the glass.
How about the Royals? Now leading 18-12. 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Another turnover by the Marauders. Jim, this is a Mount Vernon team. They only average 10 turnovers per game. And we'll have a foul inside the paint on the floor.
Yeah, I've got them for 6, and I normally will miss 1. They could have as many as 7. And like you said, very uncharacteristic of a Ben Rhodes team.
Let's get a look at the foul, the reach in by Eli Bridenthal. Jacobs inside, Steve Jacobs.
Southeastern's got the courts pretty well spread out.
Inside, Stevenson. Got it to go. Lost the handle of it there for a second, gathered it back up. He now has 5 of the 20 for HSE. The Royals lead by 8.
Yeah, one of the things I've noticed so far with him on Southeastern, when they've had a couple of loose balls, but they always seem to go to somebody in a black shirt, and it does not, result in turnover. Mount Vernon, on the other hand, every time the ball gets loose when they have it, it goes the other way.
That's scooped up. HSE, right place, right time on a lot of these unforced turnovers by Mount Vernon. Halfway through the second quarter. 12. Rajon Wells gives it up. Girard tries the three. Strong. And the rebound by Stevenson. All the way. Stevenson.
Good look, just finding the open man.
HSE up by 10. Wells got it. The senior has 4.
Rajon has given up some height, obviously, when he goes inside. Now, normally, when he plays people his own size, height-wise, there's a steal.
Wells flips it up ahead, but pass was a little too strong over Ahmad Girard.
But to finish the thought about Wells is normally when he plays somebody his own height, extra size, he's able to create space and get open and get shots. Today, he's got to go up against Stevenson, and I can give you the height differential here in a second, but it's a little bit tougher to find an easy shot.
Yeah, Stevenson got a good 5 or 6 inches on Rajon Wells. 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Here's Lacey for 3 from the right side. The Royals have put up 13 points here in the second quarter.
Mount Vernon's got to find a way to defend that arc. Just giving them way too many open looks.
4 triples here in the first half.
And that's not an overwhelming number, but they're all wide open.
Breidenthal with the offensive rebound. Girard controls it. 2:20 to play here in the second quarter. Girard, deep 2, yes. That's Ahmad Girard. Cuts deficit back to single digits. Mount Vernon students try their Marauders back in control. That jumper is an air ball and out of bounds.
Yeah, he just went up with it, I think, a little bit too early. Got him a forced shot, and once he got in the air, he realized he was in trouble, and by that time it's a little too.
Under 2 to play. HSE outscoring Mount Vernon 13-7 here in the second quarter. Girard, bounce pass, reverse layup is good. Avery Williams with the bucket for Mount Vernon. Up ahead, another one. Armand Girard gets Mount Vernon back within 5 at 25-20. I think we had a delay of game warning on Mount Vernon after that made shot.
Yeah,
it also gives some time to tie his shoe.
That's the ironic thing, is that it probably wouldn't have been a delay because he had to tie his shoe anyway. It would have probably been a.
So back-to-back buckets for the Marauders. They cut the deficit 25-20. Jacobs swings it inside. Stevenson gets it over to Jones. Back to Stevenson. It rims out. Here come the Marauders. Knocked away. It will stay with Mount Vernon with 51 seconds to go here in the first half.
Coach Ashworth wants to travel there. Mount Vernon's just a little bit out of control. May have actually taken a little extra step. No call.
It's a 6-0 run for Mount Vernon. Here's Girard. He'll try a 3, and he connects from the left wing. Ahmad Girard makes it 25-23.
Mount Vernon just fighting back, clawing back into this thing.
And now a near travel going to be called against Josh Jones. And the Mount crowd has woken up.
Yeah, a second ago this was a 9-point ball game, and right now Vernon has an opportunity to take the lead.
23. Couple of substitutions for both teams. "24 seconds to go here in the first half. Ahmad Gerard with 7 points here in the quarter. More. Spin around, and he'll lay it in. We are tied. How about this run for the Marauders? And a steal. Armand Gerard going coast to coast. Blocked from behind, though, and that will end the first half. We are tied 25-25.
Huge turn of events right there, Rob. You get a great shot of the band. They sound fantastic. Fantastic. And we got ourselves a ball game, 25-25. Why don't we just go back to 0, first team to 30 wins? What do you say?
Sounds good to me. Halftime here in Fortville. We'll be back on 9 Star TV.
When moving into a new home, we ask ourselves questions like, who is the best internet provider in town? Well, have you considered locally owned 9 Star Connect? We've become the fastest, most reliable, and dedicated fiber-to-the-home internet company in central Indiana. Our internet packages have been modified, and we are changing at a more competitive price. So give us a look. Visit us at 9starconnect.com. 9 Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
Rob Connett, Jim Leisure, and the rest of the 9-star crew back with you here at Mount Vernon High School. Wow, what a first half we had. HSE went up by double figures, but the Marauders come climbing back, and they end the half on an 11-0 run to tie it at 25 heading into the break. And Jim, we were talking earlier in that first quarter into the second quarter, it was the unforced turnovers by Mount Vernon. They cleaned it up, and that is what helped them go on that 11-0 run to end the second quarter.
Yeah, cleaned it up on their end, and then really ramped up the defensive intensity on the other end, creating turnovers for Hamill Southeastern. I have them at 7 apiece. Like I said earlier, I normally drop 1 or 2, so it could be 8 or 9. Yeah, just a it was funny because at one point Mount Vernon was down 9. I looked up, they were down 9, and I thought, I'm not horribly surprised as we watch some of the highlights here. I think it's going to be that big 24-footer by Gerard. But I was like, I'm not surprised. Hamill Southeastern's a very, very good basketball team, and even though they're 5-8, they're winning by 9. And then at the same time, I'm not horribly surprised that Mount Vernon clawed their way back into this. I thought it was going to be obviously, it's very competitive as it's tied at this point.
I think the other big point to look at is in that first quarter, Sam Jacobs had 11 of their 12 points, and yet second quarter he was held to just 2. So he has 13 points, but 2 of them came in that second quarter. HSE had to rely on some other guys. Rephaim Stevenson with 7 points in that first half. Tyler Lacey has a 3. Michael Griffith with 2, and that's it for the Royals, which isn't that surprising. HSE coming into tonight's game averaging right around 50 points per game, so they're right on average, right on point with their average with 25 at the break, and Sam Jacobs doing a lot of that scoring. But was there anything in that first half that the Royals did or didn't do that you want to adjust if you're Coach Ashworth getting ready for this second half?
I'd like to get the ball, if I'm coach, I want to get the ball inside to Stevenson more. Again, he's got a huge, he's very athletic. Rajon Wells is a great basketball player and a big body in there, but again, he's given up about 5 or 6 inches. I want to get some easy buckets underneath, and again, I'd start trying to work some more picks, screens, if you will, for Jacobs to get him more involved. Mount Vernon stepped Armand Gerard out on him defensively in that second quarter and kind of neutralized him. Well, you know what? We got to, if I'm Coach Ashworth, we got to fix that. We're going to set some screens. We're going to get him the ball.
Looking at the individual scoring for the Marauders, Ahmad Gerard with 9 points to lead the way, all of them coming in that second quarter. Armand Gerard with 5, Ray Wells with 4, Cooper Galley has a 3, and Avery Williams with just 12-9 HSE in the first quarter. Mount Vernon, again, like we said, at one point HSE was outscoring the Marauders 13-7, and Mount Vernon comes clawing back, scoring the final 11 points of that first half, and we are tied as we get ready for quarter number 3. Again, this is a Mount Vernon team like you see on your screen. They are 11-2 on the season, receiving a few votes in this week's AP 4A poll, coming in at number 16 in the state. HSE 8, but again, they play tougher and better than what that record shows here this season. Third quarter underway. Driving baseline, getting a bump is Avery Williams. Josh Jones will be called for the foul.
Yeah, it was the contact that forced him out. Sometimes you don't see that call, though. The officials will say, oh, you stepped on the line. Well,
the second quarter, he now has 11 points, and the Marauders have retaken the lead, 27-25. Ray Wells forces the turnover. Marauders up ahead. Contact, nothing called as Williams could not finish, and then we'll have a foul called on the follow-up. Foul goes against Tyler Lacey, his first. Gerard, reverse layup. Ahmad Gerard, 13 points.
Defensively, you just can't give up the baseline like that.
Mount Vernon 29-25. It's now a 15-0 run dating back to the second quarter. Jones. Now for Jacobs, who had just 2 points in that second quarter. And he will go to the line.
Yeah, he got away with just a little bit of the ball, got loose a little bit, and Coach Rhodes wants a travel there.
Let's see what
you're going to see it get
we
loose
get here.
Right there.
First free throw is good. Jacobs, the 6'5 senior, averaging 20 points per game, 86% free throw shooter. Got them both. And that ends the scoring run by 29-27 as we've played a minute 45 here in the second half. Corner three. Off the mark, no good for Galley. Royals push it up the floor. Up ahead, Stevenson. And another foul going to be called.
Just a little too much body there.
5:47 to play here in the third. Marauders up by 2 at 29-27. Hamilton looking to get inside. Instead, gets it over to Jacobs. Drives inside the paint. Tough shot. Rims out, no good, but he will go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, you saw there Hamilton Southeastern trying to get the ball inside to Stevenson, try to take advantage of that height. And wasn't there, so instead of forcing it and forcing up a bad shot, he kicks it back out.
So Jacobs will go right back to the free throw line where he made his first 2. First one there is good. He now has 16 points here in tonight's game. Second one. Got it.
Kids averaging 20, 24, whatever a night, and you think, boy, that's a lot of shooting. You got to look at how many of them are coming from the free throw line. You know, when you get to the line as much as Jacobs does, hit them, and, man, before you know it, you got 25.
Bounce pass. Wells had 2 defenders go up, and he'll draw the contact. Hey, you don't see that very often. The big man gets 2 guys up into the air at the same time.
Yeah, and a really good job here. You're going to look at it and see it again on the replay here, but
woo!
I mean, that's what you got to do if you're Ray, because you're giving up like that height. You got to do the shot fake, get them off their feet.
Well, the free throw line, first one is good. It is a place where he struggles, shooting 57% from the charity stripe. He got the first one, got them both. Mount Vernon back in front, 31-29.
That's 2 really pretty shots there. I mean, for a kid that shoots 57%, I wonder if he hasn't changed something in his approach.
Back and forth we go here in the third quarter. Driving baseline, reverse layup, no good. Cleanup, though, is good. And who else? Sam Jacobs. Now with 19 points here tonight for the Royals.
It's really the second time tonight that Jacobs has just gotten lost in the shuffle. Nobody's got a body on him on the shot, and he goes in there and just cleans up the easy bucket.
Blowing it up a little bit on possession. Gerard over to the other Gerard. Back to Armand. 3. No. Stevenson skies up for the rebound for HSC. They have a chance to retake the lead here. Hamilton gives it up for Jones. Jacobs halfway through this third quarter, tied at 31. 3 on the way, rims out, good for Hamilton. Offensive rebound, foot on the gas pedal, all the way to the hoop. It won't go, but Williams draws the contact, go to the line.
A really good job, but like you said, drawing that contact, creating that contact. Thought maybe he was a little bit And in a second, I almost wanted him to pull it out and be a little more patient, but he did the right thing there and finished the thing. And
foul went against Lacey, his second. Avery Williams, another senior. You brought up the point, Jim, that this Mount Vernon team heavily loaded with upperclassmen, especially seniors this year, as the first one is good.
Yeah, I have Mount Vernon with 7 seniors. I know Burhan is a junior. He doesn't play a lot. The other junior is Breidenthal, who does play, substantial. Not a huge part of the offense.
Both free throws good for Williams. Mount 2. Again, great battle throughout this third quarter. Hamilton. Referee says it was deflected out of bounds with HSE.
Yeah, but 2 officials had that deflection, so it looked to me like it just again immediately both of them were doing the almost a foul tip signal for in baseball.
Hamilton jumper short. Try to get his here tonight on 9-star. HSE led by 11 in the second quarter. Mount Vernon came roaring back to tie it at halftime, and here in the third, back and forth we go. 2-point ball game.
Yeah, very hectic last 2 minutes of the half there. I'm sure Coach Ashworth would love to have those 2 minutes back. Lots of turnovers, lots of questionable passes, and just bad shots that led to that Mount Vernon run.
With 13 points. Gets it over to Galley, drives. Stopped inside the paint, tries to go over Stevenson. That won't work. Jacobs in transition, up ahead to Hamilton. Floater no good. Stevenson, yes, and one.
Well, another situation there where there's basically a loose ball on the floor, but it just happens to bounce right into the hands of a Royal player. You can see the ball loose, and oh, there he is. Okay, we got it. Nice job, a little wraparound pass there, and not a tremendous amount of contact, but you saw Avery Williams sweep down with his hand. And again, just the way the game is officiated, when an official sees that out of control downward flailing, they're just going to blow the whistle.
Stevenson, 3-point play, no. Tied at 33, but offensive rebound for the Royals, but they threw it away in transition. It's Avery Williams putting the Marauders back in front. 35. HSE at 5-8 on the year. Mount Vernon 11-2. Jacobs 3 short. Here in the third, Wells. One of Stevenson. And he gets the foul.
Yeah, he's not been shy. I mean, I said it early on, you got to be careful taking it down there because as you can see on the replay here, calls a foul, but if you don't get the foul, he's going to block that shot probably 90% of the time because he's just so.
First free throw, no good for Wells.
I love Rajon's just heart. I mean, he's not giving up his game. That's what I do, and that's what I'm going to do.
Volleyball.
But when you're going up gets the kid 6'7", sometimes
he's 3 for 4 now from the free throw line here in the quarter. Mount Vernon, 2 minutes to go in the third. And a reach-in foul going to be called. Avery Williams. And he's going to sub out.
Yep. Coach Rhodes going to have him take a seat for the last 2 minutes of the.
Jacobs. He still gets it off the window and good. So he only had 2 points in the here in the third.
Yeah, they're using him a lot more as a slasher and a cutter. he's only taken 1-3. It was short. I don't know if, sometimes that's just legs. You get a little tired and you don't use.
That's jumper, no good. Might have been partially blocked. Wells wrapping up Stevenson.
Malicious there. I mean, it got a little bit physical. You're going to see it on the replay. But Wells wraps him up. Bear hug. And I think Stevenson kind of shot that and jumped into the stands.
Second foul for Wells.
Hard.
1 point game. Good. And on. Both teams with 6 fouls here in the third quarter. A minute to go. A timeout going to be taken by Coach Ben Rhodes. Back and forth. What a game we have had.
No doubt about it. And again, I think the officials have called some Stevenson and Wells. Again, I thought Stevenson kind of, what's the word, tried to sell the foul. But then they come down on the other end and they call immediately. They're starting to get a little more contact. Guys, come on, let's go back to playing basketball and let's get rid of all the, looking forward to the fourth. I mean, you still got a minute here as we look at the conference standings from Mount. One, New Pal with that difficult loss to Newcastle earlier in the year. Yeah. They had some COVID. Lost that conference game. Otherwise, it could be a different story. But getting back to this game, I think, but it should be an exciting finish.
Again, this is a non-conference game. Play. It'll be 1 week from today. They'll host Delta next Saturday. You saw there, 4-0. In the Hoosier Crossroads Conference, they are 2-2 in their conference. 4-0 coming into tonight. 25 seconds to go here in the third. Armand Girard. Third quarter.
And Hamilton Southeastern more than happy to let him do it.
Girard will go. Down to 5. Wells off the glass, too strong. Rebounded by Stevenson. Good. Count it. And HSE will take the lead.
Again, great officiating. The official under the bucket pointed out to the man at midcourt who had immediately he gave the bucket good sign. So huge 3-point bucket there. Who knows?
Big swing. You get one last look at the three-pointer by off the bank and good, and HSE leads by 2 heading in. Be a good one. We'll be back on 9 Star TV.
At 9 Star Connect, we're a different kind of utility. We're a friends and neighbors we serve. We work for you. So we're committed to delivering dependable and homes, schools, and businesses. And we know the best internet service is all about speed and reliability. High-speed fiber optic network throughout East Central Indiana. At 9 Star Connect, we are a different kind.
What a good one we got here in Fortville. Rob Connett, Jim Leisure, and the rest of the 9 Star crew. Miles with the half-court heave at the buzzer to end the third quarter, and IHSAA. Neither team led by more than 3 in that third quarter. Star TV. It was tied at halftime, 2-point ball game. Jacobs will try the 3. No. Offensive rebound, though. Track.
You know, Robin, in a close ball game like this, a lot of times it boils down to 4 or 5. Or some of them could be defensive possessions, but you look back as a coach and you're like, oh, you know, like, and that's one. You know, if you don't, at the end of the quarter, then, you know, that's 3 points they don't have, and we lose 4 or 5 possessions of ball game when it's close.
We talked about it at the start of the broadcast. Is way better than what their record shows. 5-8 on the season. But they have played a tough like they have here tonight. But an answer by Ahmad Gerard, 40-38. The Royals last night lost by 7. Tonight, Mount Vernon, who is ranked 16th. 7 ranked teams that HSE has played this year. Corner 3. And the Marauders are back in front at 41-40.
Ball to be played, just about 6 minutes and 15 seconds.
Since the second quarter. Coming in a big moment there. Marauders. And a timeout going to be taken by Coach Ashworth and the HSE Royals.
Was Stevenson gets the basketball right at the free throw line, and Wells is here in a second. Wide open, sets his feet, just drains it. Gets a little bit of that practice in this gym. But down here on the other end, Stevenson's got the basketball 15 feet away. Wells is all the way up. Shoot it, I dare you. You know, and you know, again, that's just good scouting. The coaches have seen that obviously he's had that same situation at least one other time, and he won't shoot it. So I mean, again, if he's not going to shoot it, don't guard it. The rim, and that's just something. That's just part of Stevenson's game that he's got to improve upon. Because if nothing else, put the ball to the rim. Nice job, good finish.
You've talked about that matchup between Stevenson for HSE. 11 points tonight. Wells with 7. And he draws the foul.
And that's what he's good at. He's very good at back to the basket, down, make some moves. He's got to work on his game at the 15-foot mark, though. You'll see, again, just good job here. He puts the ball. Contact, couldn't get the roll.
Wells now with 3 fouls. First, both teams in the bonus. Rephaim Stevenson, the 6'7" junior. Misses. 5:43 to go. Gerard drives. Charge going to be called.
A good job there by Tyler Lacey, just getting in there, and I suspect we'll probably see a replay here, and you'll see it. Just the old. We were coached in the old days, just kind of stand there and take the contact. Not a shooting foul, not a bonus foul because of the offensive.
You saw Coach Rhodes there. He agreeing with that charge call. Jacobs. Oh, what a pass. Back to Jacobs, and he is fouled. Will send the senior to the free throw line for the third time tonight, where he is 4 for 4. Make it 22. And the Royals are back in.
Again, you saw Jacob slashing to the rim. They got him the ball.
How big are those shots right there?
He's only shot, I think, 2 3-pointers in this second half. Does it work and create another part, and that's what he's done.
13 points in the first half, 10 more here. A lot of free throws in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, and you know, before long, I mean, obviously, I think Mount Vernon's just.
He hits the first. His first point since the first quarter. He had just a 3.
You know, we mentioned the foul situation. It very well could come down to who can hit their free throws. Fortunately for both of these teams, they're pretty good at it. Mount Vernon shoots 72% from the line. Hamilton Southeastern 76.
Off the hands of Jacobs. Turnover by the Royals.
Again, trying to get the ball to Jacobs as he cuts to the basket. Unfortunately, just couldn't come up with the pass.
Just got a fingertip on it. Gerard, tough shot. He's fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
So quick off the dribble, and then that little spin move where he plants his foot and spins back toward the rim. Very difficult to defend. I believe that's on Jacobs. Watch, it's right there. Nice job.
Jacobs with his second foul. First free throw no good by Gerard. Sega bounces in. 44-43. Marauders back in front. 4.5 to go here in regulation. Stevenson gets around Wells. He'll lay it in. Wow.
Mount Vernon may want to think about getting somebody in front of him and behind him. Wells behind him and somebody else in front of him.
Galley into the corner. Gerard wide open lane. He'll dunk it. Mount Vernon in front, 46-45.
Not only just step back and let him have it.
Royals trying to answer. That won't go for Hamilton. Into the corner. Gerard for 3. Yes! Timeout, HSE. Mount Vernon in front, 49-45.
It's going to be a full timeout here. You're going to see Galley there giving it up to the wide open man. And again, you let good shooters that open, they're going to hit that shot a lot.
Tied at halftime, 2-point game after 3. But Mount Vernon with a dunk and a 3, they now lead by 4.
The thing about Armand Gerard, too, is that he shoots 43%. Here's the dunk, and you see Stevenson right there just go, you know what, I don't want to pick up a foul. I don't want to get posterized either, so I'll just step back and let him hit it. But Gerard shoots 43% behind the arc. But again, when you're that open, he's probably going to shoot closer to 50. And really, anything over 33%, a lot of times coaches feel like that's a good percentage, and you can see it from the other end. Almost
like you mentioned, Stevenson said, I don't want that. Nope.
Yeah. Too many cell phone pictures out there. I don't want to get. I don't want to end up on somebody's TikTok or Instagram.
49-45, 3:42 to go. A 5-0 run for the Marauders. Largest lead by either team here in the second half.
It really has been. And basketball is, one of those games of runs where you go on a 12-0 run or a 10-2 run or whatever. And tonight's certainly been that way.
Back to action after the Royal timeout. 3:35 to go. Inside, Stevenson draws the contact.
Job of just giving it up to the open man. And it's just because of his body positioning there where his arms came down. Stevenson. You know, there is that, and just about verticality. You know, a defender can go straight up.
49-46.
Thought Southeastern was going to full court press there. They kind of showed it and then backed out of it.
3:20 to go. 3-point ball game. Gerard floats it to corner. 3 on the way. Yes, sir. Eli Brightenthal with his first bucket of the night. 52-46.
I said earlier that Bridenthal's not necessarily a huge part of the offense, but boy, he hit that one. Only averages about 5 a game, and that's a big 3 right there.
Jacobs from the volleyball line. Inside to Stevenson, going on one-on-one with Wells, and he'll get it to go.
Very, very hard to defend.
How about Rephaim Stevenson with 8 points here in the quarter, keeping HSE alive. 2.5 to go.
A little bit of contact there, but again, no call. I mean, I think the game tonight has been well officiated. We're going to get a timeout, I think. Coach Rhodes wants one. It's just a matter of full or a 30. Oh, no, we got a young man.
Yeah, it was not a timeout. One of the officials
is bleeding a little bit, maybe. Oh, there it is. Okay, now
there's the timeout.
Okay.
I was looking at, there's another official over in student section. Not sure if something was said.
Okay. All right.
Time to address that.
Yeah, and they're going to talk about it here. I mean, I thought maybe because, you know, obviously if somebody has a little blood on them, get hit,
right,
and then they need to clean that up or get him out of the game, one or the other. But you know, that's one thing about everywhere is just that the fans are literally right on top of you. I mean, you have the out-of-bounds line, and then what about maybe a 6-foot? Sometimes those students can get a little overzealous.
Trying to figure out, Cowboy night, is that been, maybe it's just hat night?
Yeah, a lot of cowboy hats, though. So, and
all night long, I've been trying to figure out Mount Vernon. A lot of flannel, some cowboy hats, so maybe cowboy night.
I think you're right because I saw some boots.
52-48. 26 to go here.
Whoever's running the jukebox is killing it here with Small Kiss.
Here at Mount Vernon. Great showing by the student section, the pep band, great attendance. Brought some fans over as well, and it's been a heck of a ball game.
But it would be. I mean, we contact there.
Tyler Lacey going to be called for the. Said he got the elbow.
Should be his 4th, I believe. That's what I have him for.
It will send Eli Brightenthal to the line.
1% from the line.
Got the first one and earns a second. 10 fouls, HSE with 9.
Now we're getting I believe it was on Lacey. It was right out the top.
Yeah. On both. Eli Brightenthal, the junior. 5 points. Big 3 earlier this quarter. Back up to a 6-point lead for the Marauders, closing in.
Really nice job by Wells there, taking away the inside.
Jacobs can't with the board. Under 2 to play. Across the timeline, up ahead, wide open lane, good. It's Cooper Gatt. 6:48. Mount Vernon starting to pull away.
Yet another run. This whole game has been run 10-2, that kind of thing.
Jacobs keeps it. Gerard with the rebound. 1:25 to go. Mount Vernon up by 8. And a foul going to be called against Alex Trotman. Mount Vernon trailed by 1. And then the three-pointer was that was the turning point of this fourth quarter.
Yeah, and then Breidenthal hit a couple.
This one for Gerard is good.
Yeah, we said it earlier, it was probably going to come down to free throws. Vernon's making them count.
Sega no. 1:15 to go. Royals trail by 9. Had it rejected, and then he trips. So the referees are going to make sure they're going to get together, see if this is flagrant.
Yeah. Very, very close. I mean, to me, flagrant, you got to have intent. I don't think that was just a situation where they. Yeah, he did get a little bit of a shove there.
They're going to call it a normal foul. Both.
Very, very close. I like the fact that the officials got together and talked about it.
So Breidenthal will go back to the angle of it.
Yeah,
he did extend that arm.
Yeah, more of a push there from that angle.
I could see why. Happy with that.
Yeah.
Breidenthal. 6 points here in the quarter for the junior.
If you do call it, flagrant breakaway kind of thing, they get 2 free throws and the ball out of bounds. Free throws would have been nice if Mount Vernon could have had the possession as well.
Three-pointer is good for first points of the game. Gets it back within single digits at 59-50 to go and a timeout called. And it was 49 Mount Vernon after that dunk and the three-pointer. They've been able to keep control. Hey, well, not here, but on 9-Star.
Right, right.
Next game, Friday night, Greenfield here in the HHC.
You can't shake me, Rob. I mean, you tried, but I keep finding you.
So we will have that live for you. Both those teams, half of the HHC, so both trying to get some momentum, but we'll have it for you coming up from now.
Well, Greenfield, of course, played Mount Vernon to overtime. Fantastic basketball game a couple weeks ago. And Greenfield played New Pal tough. I think it was like a 5 or 6 point game against New Pal. Luke Meredith, their coach, is doing a nice job, and it's not going to be anything easy. Too many days off in this conference.
Again, Mount Vernon 4-0. Rims in for Donovan Hamilton. He is on the scoreboard for the first time tonight. 59-53. And a foul going to be called. Hamilton tried to get another steal. Fans are in disbelief on that call.
Basketball, I didn't even see a tremendous amount of contact. And even if there was contact, Rob, again, it would
have the opportunity to go for it. Instead, Cooper Galley will shoot the double bonus, and he hits the. Yeah, Hamilton, he was just going for the ball, and they call a foul. His third.
Galley
got them both. 61-53, 48. Knocked away by Wells. Third game for Hamilton Southeastern. And bucket and one for Caleb Smock.
Now, Smock's kind of come from nowhere. He didn't have a point the whole ballgame. He's got 5 in this quarter.
The senior will try to make it a 3-point play. Timeout going to be called by Mount Vernon, so hold on to your hat. This game is not over.
Yeah, not by any stretch. And again, you know, obviously Hamilton Southeastern is going to continue to full court press the basketball, you know, even on certainly on makes and probably on misses as well. Just try to force those turnovers. Mount Vernon's got to be patient. They got to make sure that they have crisp passes. They got to keep the ball in the middle of the court. Once you get it in the middle of the court, drive it up toward your basket and try to find somebody on the wing. Whoever gets it on the wing, then kids do all the time. They get just over the timeline in the corner and they stop. They pick the ball up and they basically just trap themselves.
Yeah.
So stay in the middle of the floor. Give yourself a 3-way go. Make good passes. Make sure that, you know, again, you're finishing off, snapping them off. Nothing lazy.
Smock to the free throw line coming out of the Mount Vernon timeout. And Jim, we've been talking about all night long how HSE 5-8, well, they have played one tough schedule this year. This is their 7th ranked team that they have faced. And again, you look at some of these games. Back in November, they played Pike, who is ranked in 4A, lost to them by 6. They played Fisher, who is now number 3, lost to them in double overtime last month. They upset Westfield, a team that is ranked top 10 in 4A. Last night, they lost by just 7 to number 4 Zionsville. Mount Vernon ranked here this week, and the Royals not giving up. 6
losses for this Royals ball club, and again, I talked about it earlier. There's again 4 or 5 possessions in those ball games when you go, if we get the bucket here, if we hit the free throw there, if we don't give up the easy layup there, suddenly we're in this thing.
First free throw is good for Ahmad Gerard. Lacey's back in for the Royals. Second free throw for Gerard, got it. 63-56, Jacobs looking to drive, spins, it's around a defender, lays it in. Makes it a 5-point game with 24 seconds remaining.
Very quick time out there by Coach Jacobs as you see, Coach Ashworth, as you see Jacobs twisting and turning and working through some contact, no call. So if you're Mount Vernon, you want inbounds, you want a kid out of bounds. That's a smart kid, a kid that you can trust to make a good pass, a kid that can count to 5 because, you know, if he gets a 4 and he needs to call timeout, save the possession. It's got to be somebody you trust. And then after that, it's about getting the ball in the middle of the floor. And then once you get in the middle of the floor, get it up the floor. You got to pass the 10-second line. But more importantly, if you work.
So HSC will press. Vernon will inbound. Coach Rhodes giving one last advice to his players. 24 seconds to go. 5-point ball game.
So apparently Eli Bridenthal is that kid most.
He's the trigger man. Gets inside to Gerard. Back to Rhodes. It's a turnover by the Marauders with 18.5 seconds.
The second turnover that this full court pressure has created. Why maybe Southeastern didn't go to it earlier.
Inbound goes to Lacey. No good. Rebound by Rosenthal. That will stop the clock with 9 seconds left.
You know what the thing is? You said Rosenthal, and
I think there's Rosenthal's. I think in the Yorktown, they play in this conference. I know. Bridenthal.
Yes.
Will go back to the free throw line. Shoot the double bonus. Foul win against Hamilton, his 4th. 5 for 5 now in this quarter. Clutch free throws for the junior. of the key.
Now Vernon does not even need to inbound.
Wow, what a game. Mount Vernon hangs on for the victory. 1. Mount Vernon will improve to 12 on the season. HSC another to another ranked team.
Yeah, you know, the Mount Vernon train just keeps rolling. They're winning games when they should win games and doing things. You got a choice. You know, as a coach, you tell your kids, guys, we can either get better or we can get worse. Identify the things that we did wrong, things that we need to improve upon. And positive. When we watch film, I'd point out all the things that weren't good, and then we'd always end on the things that were feeling good about themselves. But again, when you're losing a lot of single-digit games, things, and there's lots of little things in the course of a basketball game.
Night in the loss. Who else? Sam Jacobs, 28 points. Senior to lead the way for Hamilton Southeastern, who drops to 5-9.
And you know, one thing I will say, I mean, again, great game by Jacobs with those points, but taking him out of his rhythm a little bit, took away the three-point opportunities, forced him to make a bit. But you know what? Two-pointers obviously don't add up nearly as quick as three-pointers do. And when you took him inside the arc, I think it changed the game a little bit offensively for Southeastern.
Leading scorer tonight for the 21 points. It is the 5th time this season 20-plus points in a game.
Another big one, though, was Eli Bright. 6 free throws. I mean, the kid only averaged about 5 a game. And, you know, when he gets 9 in just the last perfect 6 of 6 from the line, that's a pretty impressive night for the young fella.
Also looking at Vernon here tonight. So Ahmad Gerard leads the way with 21. Armand Gerard with 11. 9. Ray Wells finishes with 7. Avery Williams with 4. On a 5-61, your final score. And again, what a great tied at halftime, 3-point ball game, 2-point ball game going into. Again, you go back to the turning point of that fourth quarter. The dunk, a 5-point swing. Mount Vernon able to retake the lead, and they're able to hang on.
Again, that was a big, huge 5-point swing. There was also, again, 2 free throws in there as well. It was a 7-point just supposed to do, and that's why they're winning these close games, and probably conversely why Hamilton Southeastern.
11-2 now on the season with tonight's victory. Hamilton Southeastern falls to. They will be at Connorsville next Friday night, and then one back here at home for a conference game against the Delta Eagles. HSC coming up for them. Noblesville, that is a conference game for the Royals. Jim, we had another, and we will be back on Friday night for another one.
Yeah, and again, I think those are 2 teams that, again, but they're evenly matched. I mean, I think that could be another great basketball game just like this one.
It'll be at Pendleton Heights here on 9 Star TV. So again, your final here from Mount Vernon, the Marauders hang on in 55-61. Your final score for Jim Leisure. Everyone else involved with 9 Star TV, I'm Ron. We'll see you Friday nights at Pendleton Heights right here on 9 Star TV. Good night.
I don't know what happened to our monitor there. It kind of fell off.